Hey everyone, my name is Aisha Formanski and I am here with Beaducation.com to show you a quick and easy project, but also it'll help you build your soldering skills. I'm going to teach you how to solder a tiny little post onto a tiny little blank to make really cute diamond stud earrings. So let's get started. I'm all set up here to solder my little posts onto the back of these blanks to make a cute pair of stud earrings. I have my small butane torch, safety glasses, a Quench cup, some flux, and a brush. My soldering tweezers, cross-locking wooden handle tweezers, charcoal block, and then everything is here is on a non-combustible work surface. And I'm also making sure to work in a well-ventilated room. I'm going to use easy solder wire for this project. And these are pretty cool. These are solder cutting pliers. They cut sheet solder and wire solder. You just put it right here in the little hole, open the little jaw, and it cuts these little pallions. I know it's super teeny, but bear with me. There's this little pallion here. I know we're just soldering 2 joins for this earring, but I tell you, if you only prep 2 pieces of solder, you're destined to need 3. So always make sure to give yourself 1 or 2 extra little pieces of solder. Go with 3. Put that aside. So here I have 1, 2, 3 little pallions. You've also noticed I placed a little mark on my blanks there. These identify the top of the design. Little diamond there. Whoop, little shiny. Let's see here. That Sharpie marker is actually going to burn away. But I know when I place it on my block, if I put it at 12 o'clock, that's the top. I'm actually going to solder these posts just a little north of center so that when they're being worn, they don't spin on the center axis, so that your diamond design is always pointing the right direction. I'm going to take my flux and flux my blanks and my posts. I actually find it easier to bring the post to the flux instead of the flux to the posts. So pick them up with little tweezers here and just swipe them on the brush. Now everything's fluxed. I'm going to take my first post. I'm kind of all thumbs here today, so excuse me. These are very small pieces. And I'm going to clamp it here in my wood handle cross-locking tweezer. And I'm going to put the post at a little bit of an angle. This is going to make picking up the solder and soldering the post in place a little easier. I do want to drive home the point that you need wood-handled cross-locking tweezers. As we work, the heat is going, these tweezers are going to heat up. And if you're using just regular tweezers, what happens is the tweezers start to get really hot and you have to try to solder the post in place before your fingers begin to burn. So make sure you get those tweezers with the wood handles. I'm going to strike my little butane torch using just a small one here. You notice I was adjusting the oxygen here. We just need a small flame, so I'm going to turn the gas down. Whoop. Turned it so far down it went out. That looks about good. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I am going to melt one of the solder pallions into a little sphere, and while it's glowing hot, I'm gonna touch it to the end of the post. So let me show you this. Heat the pallion, there it is, into a little glowing sphere. Bring in the post. And pre-flow that solder onto that post. Now I'm going to heat my little blank. I'm preheating it a little bit in the fluffy part of the flame, waiting for that flux to get kind of shiny. And then I'm just going to hold my post in place while heating the blank. Try not to heat the post. It's going to get enough residual heat from the blank. If you heat the post, you may melt it. So just keep your heat on the blank in nice circles. There it goes. Now you want to hold your post in place while the solder sets. Release your tweezers and turn off your torch. I'm going to take this one now and I'm going to put it in the Quench cup. And let's do it one more time. I'm going to take the tweezers, I'm going to make sure they're cool. So put them in the Quench cup, make sure they're nice and cool. And pick up my next post. For the second post, we've come in for an extreme close-up so you can really see how this works. I have the post already mounted in the cross-locking tweezer. And I'm going to go ahead and strike my torch. Come in again and heat a pallion. See, solder has flowed there at the end of the post. Preheat the blank, warming up that flux. Now I'm going to hold my post in place while heating the blank. There it goes. Hold it in place, let the solder set, release the tweezers, turn off the torch. And that looks great. We're going to quench the second earring. Let's take them out of the quench bowl here so I can show you these. Maybe in this part of my hand will be better. Now we have the post soldered. Now we're going to clean up the posts in the pickle pot and come back. I want to show you how to strengthen these posts. They've become very annealed during the soldering process and we need to work hard in them. Here are the post earrings fresh out of the pickle. See how they're all white like this? That's because when you heat sterling silver, the silver in the alloy comes to the surface. So that's what that is. This comes off super easy with a pro polish pad. But before we do that, we need to talk about these posts one more time. When we soldered them, we accidentally annealed, which means softened, the post. So this is super malleable right now. If you wore these now, I mean, it would be fine, but if you accidentally took a nap in them, you may bend the post. So let's work hard in this in a very easy way, which is to use a flat nose pliers. Just take those, grasp at the very end of the post, hold the blank, and twist. Just this slight manipulation will work harden the wire. And you know what else it's going to do? It's going to check your solder joint and make sure it's nice and strong. So I'm just squeezing this to make sure it's nice and straight. So now I'm gonna just fill with my finger. It's not going anywhere. Let's do the next one. Straighten this. All right, now let's twist or grasp and twist. All right, so the posts have been work hardened. I'm going to do the Beaducation quick and dirty method here of darkening the impressions. I'm going to grab my trusty Sharpie marker. You can be kind of messy about this. Fill in those stamped impressions. Remember, you want the Sharpie to be dry before you start to pro polish your piece. Pro polish pads do not like to be wet. And just a quick little grab the little ear nuts. Oh, you know what? We have a little whitening on the back from the pickle pot. I'm just gonna give those a little swipe. Add the ear nuts. Now you have your very own pair of diamond earrings. Thanks so much for watching my class. I really appreciate it. And for you folks on YouTube, remember you can leave a comment below if you have any questions. Give us a thumbs up if you like the class, and please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks.